Hey, Loco Sports fans, welcome to the Loco Sports Lowdown. Wednesday night, we took a couple nights off after a 4-day run there for the Heritage, but good to be back here on a Wednesday night. We've stayed busy the last few days, certainly, and we're back to uh, anything and everything under the sun right now with the high school sports scene really starting to crank up. We've got a lot to go through tonight. We're still tracking down some scores from the soccer pitch, but we have a lot of baseball and softball sports to talk about, as well as from the last couple of nights. And we also have there's blue smoke coming from Hilton Head Island,
Yes,
Wes.
there is.
We have an AD. So
Right.
the successor officially to Joe Monmonier has been put in place. We'll discuss that tonight, and whatever else fancies us, I suppose. We'll hang out for about an hour and let y'all get on with your evenings. But Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Marcus Walsh with you tonight. We'll see if Max Araj pops in on his way home from work, as he often does. But how you boys doing on this lovely evening?
Good to get back to some baseball. It was out the nest and impressive win by Hilton Head, 13-8. Although I will say, there were times after they put up 9 runs in the first inning, just crazy start to that game. And you kind of was worried because it felt like Bishop England was going to climb back in, but Hilton Head scored a couple of big runs late and ended up getting the win. And that's just awesome to see this program back on the rise and what Coach Bowman is doing with that group. They've got some scrappy players on that team, and always great to come back. I haven't been to a Hilton Head baseball game in a couple weeks, so it was nice to get back there. Beautiful evening. Weather's been great this
Great
week,
spot.
and yeah, looking forward to really getting back into the stretch run of these high school teams, and what should be a very interesting playoff, especially for baseball, with a couple of teams in that region still battling there for the top spots as we head down the
Yeah,
stretch
and
here.
we'll take a look at the I got the standings updated, so we'll take a look at those a little later
With
on.
Marcus.
Marcus was also out at a game tonight,
Oh
checking
yes,
out
Yeah,
Bluffton
and
and
on
Buford. Yeah,
Monday as
yeah,
well. Monday I was at THA JP2, big 12-0 win for JP2. I'll also be at the HHCA JP2 game tomorrow, and then tonight we were at the Buford Bluffton game, which very similar scenarios with the two games that I was at. There were games for a while.
yeah,
It was just a matter of when would, in the case of the winners, when would Bluffton and JP2 lay down the hammer, and
yeah.
they did. Bluffton a winner 7-2 tonight, and then JP2 a winner over THA 12-0 on Monday night. And mistakes, errors. I think Buford tonight had 5 errors. Um, they
Yeah.
tried to get
Yeah, rough
back
season.
into it a little bit, and some pitching kind of went awry for Bluffton late in the game tonight. JP2 just played. It's not that THA played horribly, but JP2 just played really solid baseball. There really wasn't anything that stood out per se. I was, of course, very impressed with a few guys, including Garrett Heathcott. But they just played really solid baseball. I mean, it was scoreless in that game on Monday until the top of the third inning,
Hmm.
and Bluffton scored for the first time tonight in the bottom of the second. So
Right.
it was tight there for a while. All four teams kind of feeling each other out a little bit. But the two teams that were the best of the class in their matchups really proved it, especially down the stretch in each of those games. But like Wes said, great to be out, covering baseball again. Obviously, doing that for you, and if I get a chance to call some high school baseball, if we can get that going with WHHI, of course, I'd love to. But busy with other stuff with the station and
Oh
with
yeah,
Burn Media in general. A lot of people that
just
watch these podcasts may or
coming
may
in and
not
out
know that
tonight.
I do other things there too. So,
No.
always a busy
Can
time.
barely hear any. Marcus is breaking up on me, and probably I'm
Huh?
breaking
It's
up
on
on him.
your end, buddy.
My,
I hear him
it's
loud
on
and
me.
clear, but you're getting no.
I
It's on
cannot hear
Wes's
anything.
end.
Yeah.
It's on
Okay.
your end, Wes. We hear you, and Marcus and I are both crisp, so it's on your end, Wes.
Okay.
You got the gremlins.
There we go. Now it's
Wes's
starting to
gremlins.
get back to it
Okay.
here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's on your
it's
end
Yeah,
that
but
you're getting gremlin, but
we
But the show tonight brought to you by Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV. Mickelson Law Firm been with us since the beginning, the official real estate closing attorney of Loco Sports, presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, and they can help you with all your legal needs at Mickelson Law Firm. And WHHI TV, our partner in local sports coverage and our co-custodian of Marcus Walsh, hanging out with us tonight and checking out some baseball this week, moonlighting, as you call it, for Loco Sports. But we love everything you do over at WHHI and our local hometown TV station, and big supporter of Loco Sports. So I will be going back to jury duty tomorrow. Didn't get selected for the. Oh, I want to get selected. I didn't get selected for the first one on Monday, but we got called back in tomorrow, and I'm hopeful. I want to get on a jury. I always wanted to be on a jury. I think it would be cool. But no, I enjoy. You dread it when you get the call to go to jury duty, but I always find it interesting. Just to see a cross section of people, and then just to see the proceedings. The judges are usually pretty engaging and explain the process to you and everything. And it's just interesting to see how the court system works for me. But I'm hoping to get on a jury. That's my plan.
Cool.
But other than that, we had a softball game last night at Hampton County. We played a little better. It's not about wins and losses for us. It's about getting better. And, we hung in for first two innings were close, tight. We had a rough third inning, and then, they brought in another pitcher, and she was able to stymie us a little bit. But no, we're getting better. A lot going on. We've got baseball and softball scores scrolling across the
big
bottom.
News today, though.
Keep looking for some soccer scores as well. But yes, big news. Blue smoke from Hilton Head High. Evan Moxie, right? That's correct?
Yes.
Coming from Boiling Springs. I had heard that they were courting an AD from the upstate, an accomplished AD, and that they were hoping that they would be able to get that done. And sounds like they got their man with Evan Moxie, who coming from an established, big time program. So an experienced guy who should be able to hit the ground running. And they've got a great support staff around there, and they've got a lot of veteran coaches who can help him get his footing and everything. But seems like a great move. And obviously we look forward to getting to know him. We don't know him personally, but look forward to that.
Great fit. Evan Moxie, who has done some great things at Boiling Springs. He took the job there in May of 2021, so 5 years at Boiling Springs. Before that, he was a head wrestling coach, head strength coach.
There you go.
He also was a varsity assistant for the football team. In his previous role, he was the head wrestling coach at River Bluff for 5 years. Before his time at Boiling Springs. Yep, led them to 4 straight region titles. They won the 5A state championship in 2017.
Nice.
Also coached at Lugoff Elgin and Cardinal Newman. Won state championships there. So that's I think that's
this
important.
Guy's legit.
Yeah, great guy. He's produced a bunch of winners, especially on the wrestling scene. Also has some football experience, and that bodes well because wrestling's big down here, and of course Nate River is large and in charge. But Hilton Head Wrestling, it's a program that wants to continue to get on the mat and challenge the Sharks, but seems like
Buford just hired Slaughter, who's also a former wrestling coach, and is really going to invest in the sport there. This is outstanding for
this region
for the
is going to be big for wrestling, and I certainly have been big in talking about what Fred and Angie have done. Taking over for Joe, they're going to step right in and help him with what he needs as well.
Fittingly enough, he is originally from Canton, Ohio. An Ohio native, and has a son, Braden, who is around 12 years old. So he's bringing a family there, and I'm really excited to get to know him. He seems like a great guy, accomplished guy, and I think he is a near perfect fit for this job. And it's going to be hard to follow up a guy like Joe Mominier because of how good he has been. But certainly,
bless me.
When you look at who Joe Mominier might want to have as the successor to his position, I feel like this guy is right there at the top of the list, and I'm certainly there
Yep.
was some strong competition that they had to decide from as well, alongside Moxie. But what a terrific hire, in my opinion, and someone who's going to bring a lot of energy, a lot of excitement towards this Hilton Head CHAP program. It already has a lot of momentum riding towards it with that great football season and success. So many other directions right now, in a couple of sports. So I think Hilton is going to be in great hands with Evan Moxie. Looking forward to getting to know him and being a part of his journey here at Hilton Head High. And it's exciting. Moxie over Hilton Head. You got Slaughter of Buford, so a couple of new names at the AD role starting next season.
Right,
Yeah.
and especially too, like I've talked about, and I filled Larry Jacomot and Daniel Court in, who I saw today at WHHI as well, just about Slaughter coming back, and certainly about Jason Crunkmeyer coming back.
Yep.
Looks like this area is going to be a little bit more reinvigorated. Certainly with getting some of those guys going, and then the Moxie for Moxie
Yeah,
certainly over at Hilton Head. And you just talked about what football's doing. Wrestling's going to be getting rolling, you would think as well. That
yep,
basketball team, especially on the guys' side,
yeah.
had a great year last year.
Very competitive.
So, that's going to be something to look forward to see how he puts his mark on that program in the season to follow and beyond.
Indeed, indeed. So I think we got all the AD slots filled up now? Question mark.
Yeah.
I think. I don't think we have any openings
Trying to
left.
think of others other than Buford and Hilton Head.
I
Of
think
course,
you're
Well, yeah, and
correct.
HHCA.
yeah, the
Um,
Christian Academy, of course,
yeah, I
Crunkmeyer
think we're.
on the back there. Yeah,
But I mean, I guess somebody could still leave for
yep,
another job, and we could have another
Sure.
opening. But
yep.
But
sounds like
as of
we
now, I think they're all filled.
think we're settled for now.
So,
Um, what's that?
hmm?
What was that?
No, I
Oh,
was
I
just
thought
saying
you were
that.
about
Yeah,
to say something.
it's yeah, no, just some movement and someone who we've known from the past who's coming back, which is cool to see Jason Crunkmeyer back at the helm of Hilton Head Christian Academy. Accomplished guy when
Yep.
he was there, so that's exciting. And Cody Slaughter, once again, another guy I got to know. Or I mean, one of the guys I got to know. I obviously have not met Evan Moxie yet, but Cody Slaughter, a great guy, and I'm excited to see what he does at Buford High with the track record that he has had. And I just think Buford, it's been a rough,
Last
athletic year
couple
for
few
Buford.
years.
Yeah,
Well,
it
the last
has.
couple years and that
They just
they
haven't
graduated
had
now, but
continuity. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, it's been a tough stretch for them, but I expect them to bounce back,
I agree.
especially with the youth over there at Buford. They seem to always attract some good talent, but it is surprising to see both football, baseball, on some down years. Basketball, is
Basketball had a down
Boys
year.
girls basketball
basketball
team
had a
did have a
down
very
year.
good year. The
Girls
girls
had a
got
great year.
yeah,
Honestly, girls across the board have had a pretty good year at Buford.
Yes,
You go back
yep,
to they had a pretty good volleyball season. They had a good
did.
girls
Girls
basketball
been carrying.
season,
Yep,
and their girls track team is killing it. So
they always are.
it's
Yeah,
certainly not all bad over at Buford. It's just
no,
kind
not
of
at
the
all.
higher profile sports that were carrying for a while have fallen off for a little bit. But I do think that Slaughter will absolutely reinvigorate things over there. He'll have that
yes.
machine, the big green machine, up and running again
Cooking
very soon.
crazy.
So,
And
and I
I'm
know they're
really intrigued to see certainly the rivalries with May River and Hilton Head for sure. But
Oh, those,
whenever
especially on the
we
wrestling
see,
mat. Yep,
yeah, whenever we see Buford and Bluffton, that's going to be something in a lot of these sports, of course, with the fact that
yep.
he was over there
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
before heading a
true
little bit
story.
away. But great to have him back as well.
True story. All right, let's talk about some games. Going back a couple of days, back to Monday. You checked out that JP2 blowout win over Thomas Hayward. That
Yes,
was also the opener of the the Region Series and Region 6 4A. Bluffton beat Beaufort 14-6 in game one. You saw them beat them again tonight 7-2. So they've taken that series. They'll go for the sweep on Friday. Bishop England took a 5-4 win over Hilton Head in game one, but the Seahawks struck back tonight with 9 in the first and held
Oh,
on
wow.
to win it. And then
that
May
was
River 6-3 win over Colleton on Monday, 4-1 tonight. So I can pull up the standings here for you. But the Sharks are still on top by a game over Hilton Head.
Yeah,
Plus, they have the
it is.
head-to-head tiebreaker.
Yeah, so May River's 11-3, Hilton Head 10-4,
Correct.
so 1-game lead.
Yeah.
But if there's so only 1 game left, so Hilton Head won't be able to catch May River because the Sharks do have that head-to-head breaker over Hilton Head. Now Bishop England, I guess you still have the three-way tie situation that could potentially happen.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. We do well.
Wait,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, if Hilton
they're
Head
8 and
wins the
3.
next game and
Yeah.
May River loses, then they're all three tied if Bishop England sweeps their last series,
Right.
which is with
It
Bluffton.
could
It's with
be.
Bluffton.
Ooh.
So it's not a given that they would sweep
Yeah,
that series
yeah.
at all.
Yeah, no doubt. But the
Very
three-way tie
interesting. So,
scenario isn't.
but Sharks also took 2 out of 3 from Bishop England. So the Sharks
Yeah,
have clinched the region title. Because even in
that
a
is
three-way
correct. Because they
scenario,
do have they would have head-to-head over both Bishop
over
and Hilton
both of them. So they clinched the
Right, so
region
they
title.
would.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't see any
yeah,
way how they didn't.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
That is, yep.
more than likely it'll sort itself out
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, because May
But
River still is. Well, they're 11-3. They still have one more game. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So they essentially have, and
Yep.
well deserved for the
Yeah.
Sharks. I mean, tremendous year. Just the depth that they've developed at the plate has been very, very impressive. I'm looking forward to seeing them. But Hilton Head, if they can knock off Bishop England again and win that series and go to 11-4, that would put some pressure on Bishop England because they would drop to 8-4. Hilton Head would be done. And
Right.
so Bishop England would play Bluffton, and then Hilton Head would still have a
Well, then
chance to
it
get
wouldn't even matter though, because if Hilton Head wins that game, then they take the series, and then they have head-to-head over Bishop England.
That is
So they'd
true.
be
So
the
if the
2.
Seahawks do win, they would clinch
Tomorrow
second
nights
place.
or Friday
Yeah.
nights for the 2 seed,
I
basically.
believe it's Thursday. I believe it's tomorrow.
Oh, is it?
Yes, I think that game.
Interesting.
Yes, the final game of that series will be tomorrow at Bishop England at 6
Sure
o'clock.
enough. How
Yep.
about that? Good call, Wes. Good catch.
Yep.
So big game tomorrow
something
night
we
for the
were
Seahawks.
discussing during the game, and it kind of went to their pitching strategies. Let me count up the game changer and let me know, or let me tell you,
Sure.
because they used a bunch of pitchers because they're
While
trying
you
to.
do that, May River tonight, Colin Sanchez was a dude for the Sharks. He went the distance, 101 pitches, 3-hitter, 1 run. It was earned, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts for Sanchez, and the offense able to scratch across a run here and there, as they do. They got one in the second on a Sam Matajeski double, RBI double. They picked up another one in the third on a what? I don't know how that man scored.
Oh, that's strange.
Flies out to fish. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. Double steal, first and third situation.
Oh.
Talon Putnam stole second. They tried to throw him out to get out of the inning, and
Right.
Micah Morgan scored.
Yeah.
So, and then they got one on a Putnam double in the fifth, and then closed it out with what happened here? Some kind of wild play. Oh, Bach scoring on a Bach.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Sharks win. Sharks win.
Here's what happened. This game was 2 hours and like 40 minutes for a 7-inning game. The reason why we had 11 combined pitchers between the.
Oh my!
My
teams.
goodness.
Yes.
I thought I had a lot in the game I was at today.
Yes.
That's a ton.
And Hilton Head used 5 different pitchers. DeNoyers started the game. He threw 1 in the third, and then also Lozan, Sturm, Larson, and Shipshack all pitched for Hilton Head, and so
Very
this is
interesting.
Yes. So I'm interested to see. Obviously the reasoning is you're trying to keep those pitchers healthy, and there's I don't know the exact number, but there's a count where if you.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
DeNoyers,
Lozan, and Shipshack should all be able to come back
DeNoyers
tomorrow.
through 28, Lozan through 22,
Yeah.
Shipshack
Sturm
through
and
11.
Larson
So
are
is it 30 the
burned.
number that if you threw less than 30, you can play the next day. Is that
Yes,
the
I
next
believe
day?
so. Yeah.
So
That
that was
sounds
the
right.
reason. That's kind of why they took out. Well, they had a 9-run lead, so it's like
Right. No, it
yeah,
makes sense. Get your starter out of
yeah.
there, save him for Friday.
That's exactly
And
the
then you just
reasoning.
kind of bullpen
Yep.
game it, and then everybody's available again
Right.
tomorrow.
So the
So,
worry is there was a worry that they might let slip away. It was a 9-6
right.
game at one point, and Bishop England was right there, but there were two enormous defensive plays, but really just one big offensive play that made the difference for Hilton Head to once again, I'm okay. I'm still here. But yeah, Beretti with a beautiful throw to play to complete a double play and a fly out to left. Just a tremendous job to relay that in there. I mean, just. I mean, when you look at the scope of that game at that point, it was 9-4, and I believe Bishop England had the bases loaded. So if that gets by him, or obviously made the catch, but if that play
Right.
isn't made, I mean, that could have been a completely different game. So
Right.
there was another inning too where Bishop England loaded the bases and Hilton was able to get ground out to strand them all. So it was nearly disastrous for the Seahawks, but they kind of found a way to bend but not break and hang in there and get the win. But the offense was very impressive. I mentioned Beretti; he had a couple of hits, drove in a pair of runs. I mean, just
How
outstanding
about
stuff from
Shipshack, the
Shipshack,
freshman,
3 for
3 for
4.
4 with a couple
Yes.
RBIs, and he pitched 2 really strong innings in relief to
Wow.
finish it off.
Doesn't seem that long ago
That's
when I
very
was watching
impressive.
when we were watching that kid
Seems
in
like
the Dixie
yesterday we were in
Dixie
Mississippi
World
for the
Series.
Dixie
Yeah.
World Series, 12U World Series.
Yep.
But yeah, I called him Little Rizzo when he played for me when he was 5, and he's lived up to the name.
He's still got a
He's a
great
Cubs
swing.
fan. He was a lefty
Yep.
bat. So, yeah, nice win for the Seahawks tonight. Nice win for May River, and nice win for Bluffton as well. That
Indeed.
Buford team's scrappy. They took
Yeah.
one off May River, remember?
Yeah.
So that's a
Are
nice win
indeed.
for the Bobcats.
if
Yep.
if Buford just kind of works on their defense a little bit more, that was a big issue for them. Like I said earlier,
Yeah,
5 errors in the game tonight, and Dawson Kunze 5 tremendous
yes,
innings for Bluffton tonight.
he's
Did
tough.
not give up a run. He was
He
just
walked
outstanding.
7, but didn't allow a run. That's hard to
Yeah,
do.
he bobbed
Well,
and weaved a little bit with that.
Nuke.
Uh, Carlos Garcia came in and he struggled a little bit
That's
too.
a large
That's
man.
that's where things got interesting, and that is a large man.
Garcia's a
That's
big
that's
fella.
really where
yeah.
things got
Yep.
interesting in the seventh inning, where they had to even bring somebody else in. One really cool moment was, of course, you had Tyler Wolf, who can play a bunch of different
Oh
things
yeah,
for a bunch of different sports, of course. Mr. Versatility. He was in center
yes.
field tonight,
Yep.
and then he played some first base. And his younger brother Trevor came in with
Trevor.
2 outs in the top of the seventh inning to play third base, to have
Mhm.
the two brothers there at the corners of the infield. And I was thinking for sure it was going to be a ground ball to third, and for Trevor to throw it to Tyler across the diamond to end the game. It didn't happen, but that was a really cool moment too. And Buford certainly had their chances, but just didn't quite work out for them. You know, Bluffton a little bit too much. Like I said, they scored 1 in the second, 4 in the third, and then 2 in the fourth, and they got their 7. Got things a little bit
Yes.
interesting in terms of not quite being able to shut them down completely. Talking about Bluffton on the defensive side, certainly pitching against Buford later in the game, but a 7-2 win against a rival like Buford, you'll take that for sure.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Last out recorded by Henry Numpson, another player from
Yes,
that 12 and
Yes.
yes,
under All-Star team. He's a
and
Crazy.
tough
They're
he
all
had
one.
going
a
up. Yep.
very eventful day too,
Yeah,
doing a
had a
little bit of everything.
triple. Had a triple.
Yes, a
He's a
huge triple
incredible talent. Just an
to the
incredible
right
talent.
center field gap.
Nice. So yeah, Bobcats hanging in there. They could catch Bishop England. Yeah, if they take, well, they'd have to sweep them most likely, right? Well, if Bishop England loses tomorrow and Bluffton wins Friday, then they would only be one game back of them. So then just winning the series would jump them. Bishop England could theoretically fall as far as 4 in the region. So still very interesting there. Max Araj has come in the back door. There he is. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, fellas? How are y'all?
Good.
We're doing the thing.
Let's
We're doing the
hear your
thing.
thoughts about this
Yeah, I know.
baseball sub. Yeah,
Yeah.
How about that Hilton Head Seahawk? Nice win, 13-8 over Bishop England.
Yeah,
and then
very impressive.
you know,
Yeah, it's
so you
extremely
look at
impressive. The funniest thing is we've talked about Hilton Head. They have so much youth on this team. It's a very young team, but it's also a really talented team, and I mean, obviously, it's showing, especially against a program that's been as solid as Bishop England over the years. And Bishop England's currently sitting in the mix, but Justin, you mentioned they could fall as far as fourth.
Yeah, they
and
could
that's
still finish second to fourth.
and that's just what this region has been, and not even just in baseball. That's across most sports, where we just see everybody all bunched up together, and you just don't know who it's going to be until you head into that final week. So yeah, it's a very impressive win for Hilton Head tonight. So yeah, I've been keeping a close eye on this Hilton Head team. They've really impressed me this season, and
Dipshack was tremendous.
excited to see how they
As you
do.
mentioned, made a couple of really nice plays. But the player that kind of was the unsung hero in this game was the catcher Tompkins, who was not only a just incredible backstop, made a couple of big time stops to get to prevent some balls from getting away from himself there and advancing runners, but he was just a slapper at the plate tonight. I loved his approach, loved his swing. I'm excited to see what he can do going forward if he's able to get some more opportunities to play behind the plate for Hilton Head. But they've gotten themselves a pretty good catcher, starting to really get better. And Tompkins Shapiro had a nice game. He had a double. Grady Charrington Dutton, I mentioned him, 2 doubles.
Yeah,
Had some
doubles.
lasers that he hit tonight. And then Denoyers was effective both on the mound and he got some stuff done at the plate as well. A pair of hits drove in too. What a tremendous name and a tremendous talent for Hilton Head, who's really starting to come into his own. This is the best Hilton Head team I think I have seen since 2020. It has been a long while since Hilton has been this talented, and it's really great to see.
It is really great to see. I mean,
excited.
I'd be excited too. I'm very intrigued by this Hilton Head team. I kind of agree with Wes. I mean, they've had good teams over the last few years, and they may not. Obviously, they've been young. They haven't really been in that development phase, I guess would be the way to put it. I think they've tried to bring in these players. I think they're starting to build that program back up again, as Wes has concurred to. But I remember back in the late 2010s, from that that 2017 through those years, they had some really good teams, and you mentioned a lot of players like
even back
Carmen
before that
in
the late 2000s too. They had a stretch there with Patrick Lawson and Ryan Kelly.
Yeah, and I think of the late 2010 teams like with Carmen Majinsky.
Yeah, I mean your Majinsky, that era.
A lot of other players.
Matt Clark and Carmen Majinsky on the same staff.
Well, yes, and I remember those two playing together for a while, and Majinsky played the shortstop position. He was not a pitcher early on.
Well, wild. And then you go to the post, Majinsky and Max Clark era. You see players like Cooper Coonage.
Yep, and of course they went to rival. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean
I'm saying they both went
since I've seen. It's been a while since I've seen a team of that caliber, and I think Hilton Head's well on their way to having that. If it's not this year that they make a deep run, I have a feeling with a lot of the young talent that they have, you look at next season for them, could be something really fun to watch.
Yeah, they're coming along very nicely, and they've got a bunch. Like, remember, they got
some more coming.
There's a couple of freshmen in the starting lineup.
You look at how good that,
and they do have more coming.
The HHBA program's been so good the last few years. You got to think there's some more talent coming up there in these next couple of seasons.
Yeah.
I'm pumped to see it. They've got a great coach. They've got a really good collection of talent this year. They've got a couple of good arms that have come along. and I think they can make some noise this year in the postseason. I think Bay River has a great chance to do so as well. It's been good to see some of our teams get the foil this year. Bishop England they were the team that we were chasing last
Right.
year. A couple of sports, especially baseball, but good to see the Sharks getting at it. Good to see Hilton Head really rising to another level this year, and Bluffton's been competitive. No doubt
They're
about
right
that.
there. They're
Yeah,
right
they're right
there.
there.
If they can
Yep.
beat Buford again Friday and then take 2 out of 3 from Bishop England, they'll slide into that number 3
Yeah.
seed. So don't sleep. I got a note from Brett Macy today. Bridges Prep looking for a new girls volleyball coach, and he sent me a link, so I'm dropping it in the chat, in the comments, if somebody happens to be paying attention tonight and wants to be the volleyball coach at Bridges Prep. They're looking for one. Brett reaching out and letting me know about that, and I see that they got a good job posting up here. Check it out. We need coaches. It is a thankless job being a high school coach. I assure you of that. But we need them, and it's important, and it's great. Like, I love it. It's awesome. It's just a lot of work.
It is a lot.
Not gonna lie.
A lot of work.
Not gonna lie. It's a lot of
Good work, though.
Oh yeah.
Very good work.
All right. So then some softball scores. Shall we do some softball scores?
I think we shall.
Actually, from last night, some more baseball. Bridges Prep 6-4 over Bamberg. That's a good win. It was a walk-off.
Yeah,
Very good win. That's
Yes.
a very solid Bamberg team too.
HHCA Savannah Jaguars 13-3. JP2 another blowout, 14-0 over Northwood. So there's a few baseball scores, and then tonight, of course, we told you about the Region 6 4A games, but Hilton Head Prep beat Dorchester 10-1. Wells's crew quietly having a hell of a year over there.
Pretty good season.
Hilton Head Prep. What are they at now?
They're going to be in the mix.
Yeah, they're 29-3 now, so they're having a pretty solid campaign.
Yeah, they're going to be
on
in
the
mix
south
this
end.
year. They're definitely in the mix for playoffs this year. That's for sure.
Thomas Hayward beat Patrick Henry 6-5, and Orangeburg Prep beat Colleton Prep 4-3.
That's a good bounce back win for THA, because they, like I said, Monday, and we know that JP2 is a bit of a juggernaut.
Yeah.
But Monday, things started off really well and then got off the schneid. I mean, JP2 scored 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and then 5 in the fifth and 4 in the sixth, and they won 12-0. So, again, similar situation to what I saw tonight. That it was tight, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, because I've been thinking about this now as we are now approaching playoffs. Obviously, JP2 and Hilton Head Christian play tomorrow night, but there is a real realm of possibility potentially where we see those two teams potentially in the playoffs. Now that I'm thinking about it, both in 4A, there's definitely a chance.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Two could face each other.
Oh, I looked at last year's Hilton Head Prep. Sorry, my bad. They're 23-2 this year. I was like, they haven't played.
Okay, that's still
games
pretty
already.
dang good.
Still pretty good.
Still outstanding.
I was about to say
23-2.
30-something games. That's a lot.
I was like, they haven't played that many.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Hilton Head Chris Gabby, as they look to go the distance in 4A, but you Hilton Head Prep and JP2. Well, the JP2 and Hilton Head Christian are both 4A.
Hilton Head Prep's 3A.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Hilton Head Prep's 3A, but Hilton Head Christian and JP2 are 4A.
Yes, that's what I said.
It would be great to see Hilton Head Prep and Hilton Head Christian, which is we've mentioned this. I've already mentioned
they didn't play this year.
They didn't play this year. I find that astonishing that they didn't play this year because I can't remember the last time I saw these two not play. It was a bummer this year. It would have been great to see them play each other.
Yeah,
in the
man.
playoffs.
Should have played a 3-game series.
Yeah, man.
Play the third one on a neutral site, even.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Do like Clemson, Carolina, and do the neutral site.
Yeah,
Richard Gray Sports.
Wish we had a place like a Fuller Field. That's
Well, when USCB gets their on-campus field, maybe we can.
That would be fun.
Can have it there.
Be good. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah.
That'd be great.
But anyway, there were some softball games the last few nights as well. Bamberg beating up on Bridges, Dorchester beating up on Thomas Hayward, Carlton Prep beating up on Andrew Jackson. That was Monday. Tuesday, Wilson Hall knocked off JP2. JP2's only lost a couple, but I think they've both been to Wilson Hall.
That sounds
Yeah,
good.
Wilson
We lost to
Hall's
Hampton County. Cross edged Andrew Jackson 11-10. Lawrence Manning 12-6 over Carlton Prep. And then tonight, JP2 bouncing back with a 16-2 win over First Baptist. Bridges Prep 12-0 over Hampton. HHCA 27-12 over Hilton Head Prep. I've been
I'm
privy
sorry,
to many of these
is that
games.
softball or is that
Yeah.
football?
No, it's our brand of softball that we play
Yeah, fair enough.
at new programs. It's
Yeah,
wild.
no, that's very much so true. That's very true.
Us hitting on Christian and Hilton Head Prep are all in the same boat. We all understand it. You can give up 20 plus real easy some days. Orangeburg Prep 7, Colleton Prep 6, and then a few Region 6 4A games tonight, or a couple. May River stays undefeated in region with a 14-5 win over Beaufort, and
Nice.
Colleton County a 10-6 win over Hilton Head. Really good showing from the Seahawks, who, man, I have been so impressed with
They're
Nikki Perry
starting to
the last couple of years.
they're starting to find it.
They're
That's
starting to
awesome to
figure it
see.
out. It's
They're
really
figuring it
couple
out,
of
and they've got
years.
a really good freshman pitcher in Skyla Ward, and
Yeah.
then her younger sister is going to be a 7th grader next year, and she's a stud catcher. And they've
building
got
it.
some. They are, and Nikki
They're building
Perry
it.
is awesome, and she's really got
Yeah.
them.
How do you?
Playing hard and loving the
I
game.
gotta ask, because obviously May River's undefeated in region play, but it's not the strongest of regions. Let's be honest.
It's not for
It
softball. It's
really
definitely
isn't.
not.
And
This year.
and so my thought is, how deep are we expecting May River softball to go in playoffs?
Reasonably.
They've had a couple of decent runs the last 2
Yeah,
years.
they have sort of overperformed in the playoffs. The last,
Yeah, that's
well,
true.
at least last year, I would say they did.
Definitely last.
The last 2 years, really, they've gone at least to the lower
years ago,
state
they
bracket.
did.
I believe the last 2
And
years.
I mean, when you look at it, they lost a 1-0 game to JP2 on March 11th, which I don't even know how much that really.
Yeah, I'm not going to
means.
factor much into that one.
They lost 7-6 to Lexington. They lost badly once, 10-1 to Berkeley, and they lost 6-4 to James Island. They're beating everybody else.
Yeah.
So I think they're pretty
They'll be
decent.
competitive. Are they as good as they were the last years? Still debatable, but I think they're right near there from what I've seen. You know, it's all about finding your best stuff as you get into the postseason. Do you have that hot pitcher who can find a way
Right.
to get going the big moment? That's what it comes down to, and it's how you're playing in the May is what really makes the difference.
And they don't
here.
have a overpowering pitcher by any means. They don't, Caden Swafford, she's less than a strikeout per inning, like she's not going to blow you away, but she throws strikes and she gets balls in play and they play good defense. And that really is that may be the one thing that holds them back, just not having that really dominant pitcher.
Yeah.
Because you run into a team that has one and they beat you 1-0 or something.
Exactly.
So we'll see, but I do think they'll acquit themselves quite well. I think Coach Hess is legit, and they've got a lot of really good players in that program. So I think they'll be fine. But the region is definitely down for softball this year. Colleton's weaker than they have been in a few years. Beaufort is obviously down after Kylie's graduation a couple of years ago. Hilton Head is coming up, but they were so far below everyone else that they're still 0-8 in region. But they're playing full games now, 7-inning games, and they're competitive.
Yeah,
and that was not
somewhere.
the
That's a good
case.
start.
Yeah, exactly. That was not the case before. So
I'm intrigued to see that.
Even when they had Reagan Marchand dropping bombs, they were still and Delsey Swift, who's now pitching at Jacksonville University. They still were not that good back then. So
I'm intrigued to see what they're like. I'm intrigued to see what they're like next year.
Yeah, I think they'll be solid.
That's a team to keep an eye on for next season.
For sure. Softball is definitely on the come up.
Well, I mean, you and I have talked about it, Justin. We talked about it last year when y'all played Hilton Head last year, if I'm remembering.
Yeah, we played them last year and this year. Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about how there was talent on that Hilton Head team. It was just young talent that just hadn't had enough experience yet. They got
and Skyla was hurt. Skylar was hurt for part of last year, then she was
Right.
hurt for the first part of this year. When she's out there, she's a difference maker. She's
She is-
really, really
Yeah.
good. And she's just going to get better, just a freshman. So, I don't have a lot of soccer scores from the last couple of days.
Yeah.
I started looking for some, but I didn't find a whole lot. I do have Monday nights. JP2 girls stayed hot, 8-2 over Ashley Hall. Hilton Head Prep blank, Carleton
Good
Prep
win.
10-0. Oceanside 11, Battery Creek 0.
Oof.
And then yesterday I got some soccer as well. Buford 2-1 over Carleton County on the girls' side. Bishop England 3-0 over May River. Battery Creek 11, Orangeburg Wilkinson 1. Hampton County beat Ridgeland 6-1. Bridges 5-0 over Buford Academy. Hilton Christian 7-1 over Palmetto Christian, and Patrick Henry 4-2 over Cross. Those on the girls' side. Boys scores. How about this? JP2 boys suffer their first defeat. The Bluffton Bobcats. Foxy got his old team 4-2.
Oh yes, you know he just has their number. I don't know. He
Foxy
just
got him
always has his
4-2.
number.
Foxy got him. Yeah. I forgot I did see that score the other night, and it came up on Instagram on Bluffton's social media page, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
The girls have not played for like 10 days. They got a nice win 1-0 over Glen Academy. They
10
will
days.
they will cakewalk Colleton, no doubt about that. In my opinion, on Friday coming up, and then 2 more at Buford. The big one at Bishop England, April the 30th, which will be interesting. Hilton had won that one 1-0 back in March. That should be an interesting one. The Seahawks try to run the table in the region.
It will be,
and that's Bishop England's only loss, right? So
yes, that's
right.
They gotta win that should be a great match,
or at least take it to penalties.
It's gonna be interesting. That's for sure.
If they get it to penalties, then
but it's there's no ties. It's not like any other soccer leagues. It's
you're right. But if it's penalties, would that be tiebreaker?
Well, it's
on goal differential. That's what I'm saying. Is if they won 1-0, but then they lost on penalties.
One of the cool things, I don't know if I mentioned this when the high school league was talking about different playoff steps. They were also talking about having a universal tiebreaker for every region, which made things a lot easier.
I think that should have been the case years ago, if I'm being completely honest.
Well, the natural one in soccer is goal differential, right? Between the
yes,
the two
yes, I would assume that would be the tiebreaker to use. But
so if they won 1-0, they gotta
right,
tie.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Lose
if they take the
penalties,
penalties,
or
then
win.
yes, they would win the the goal differential tiebreaker. Yes, I would assume that would be the case because
I would too.
Even because they would split, like they would have head-to-head splits.
Yeah.
So you would.
So even crazy if it wasn't.
Even if it does go to penalties, if I'm trying to,
even if it does, yes, like I said, they would have.
Then the score officially is 0-0 or 1-1, so they would win on goal differential.
But even if it was head-to-head, they would split, which would go probably next with a weak goal differential, or fewest goals. It's either goal differential or fewest goals allowed, something like that. But either way, Hilton Head would have that second tiebreaker and would win the region. So
they basically have it in hand if they draw or win.
Winner or draw gets it done. Yes.
Yeah.
Although if it goes to extra time, you can score more than one goal. It's not golden goals. You could score. Yep. You can score multiple goals. Yep.
Yeah.
Boy, that would be a bummer, wouldn't it? If you gave up 2 in extra time,
really would.
That would be rough. But yeah, Buford beat Carleton last night 2-0 in boys, and May River beat Bishop England 3-1. So I think May River may have clinched with that.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up the standings here in a second. Let's see. Yeah, they're 8-0, and they've beaten Bishop England twice. So yeah, they're gonna win it. And it's still a fight though. Bishop England 1 game ahead of Hilton Head. Bluffton 1 game behind Hilton Head.
Yeah, I was wondering where Hilton Head was sitting because I knew they were in the mix there, so I wasn't sure where exactly they were sitting. So that does make it a little interesting. Does Hilton Head Has Hilton Head played Bishop England twice already?
Don't
Soccer?
know offhand.
Boys
Yeah,
soccer?
boys soccer.
I got the schedule in front of me as I navigate to that. So let me see. Hilton plays GP2, or they play them tonight. I'm sure I found the
Ooh.
score that was at JP2. They play Bishop because the boys and girls schedules are identical. So yeah, they play Bishop England on the 30th
They
as well.
do.
That will
They
be
still
at
got
the
Bishop
Nest.
England. Ooh.
The first game was a 3-0 loss at Bishop England. So how they do it is that one team plays at home, the girls, the guys, and the other team plays
Right.
away.
Right.
So
Yeah,
Hilton
that's
Head will
right.
be, the boys will against
So
Bishop
Hilton
England
Head
on next Thursday.
Hilton Head at home versus Bishop England. That's interesting.
Yep.
Might be a
Yeah.
game worth watching.
We shall see.
Yeah.
What was the score last time,
Yeah,
Wes?
I mean,
What'd you say?
3-0.
3-0.
3-0. Yep.
Uphill
That was
climb.
all the way back in March
Certainly.
March 13th. Yep.
True.
Decently long
It's
time.
been a
Yep.
while. Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows what's transpired since then? You got injuries, you got team
Yep.
chemistry, all
Teams
kinds
can
of things
change
that
for
can
sure, but from that
go
point.
off the rails.
Yep.
Good evening, Aunt Edith in Oklahoma.
What's up, Edith?
Kansas.
All right.
Kansas.
Thanks for tuning in.
All right. Let's see what else we got. That's most of it, yeah.
I think
Most
so.
of it.
Obviously, we got lacrosse playoffs are getting close to
Yeah, around the corner.
so that should be rounding into form very soon. I'm just gonna take a look to see if just taking a quick glance at the playoff.
Oh, I will say
lacrosse.
I did see that the information is out there now for the 2026 All-American Football Camp, which of course is BJ
Yes, that's
Payne's
coming up next month.
self-proclaimed
I'll
best
be there.
youth football camp in America. It'll be May 8th through 10th, so coming
That's
up very
correct.
soon.
And
That's coming up soon. Yeah,
that's
I think
been known
they
for
moved it up
for
earlier.
a bit.
Yeah, I
actually.
just
It has
got
been in the past.
email today about registering for it, so I thought
Yeah,
it'd be good
so I'm
to
sure we'll
bring them back up.
I'll have to get in touch with Payne and see who he has, the names, the
Well,
guys he has.
We've got a list here. This
Oh,
year's
all right.
camp staff will include
Okay.
Jalen Sneed of Notre Dame
Yep.
and his
course.
teammates Tay Johnson, Mylan Graham, Thomas Davis Jr., and Rodney Dunham.
Wow.
Logan Brooking from Clemson,
Okay.
Loco product who went
Yep.
to Savannah Christian, Keith Brooking's son. Peyton Pierce and Riley Pettyjohn from Ohio State.
Wow.
Georgia legend Rodrigo Blankenship, the
Yes.
kicker,
He's back.
will be
Yes.
back.
Looking forward to
Yeah.
talking to him.
He's
Yep.
a favorite. And then, of course,
Yep.
a good NC State contingent because Cage Payne is one of them, along with his
Yeah.
teammates Duke Scott, Spike Sowles, and Will Wilson, former Battery Creek Dolphin.
Love
Oh,
that.
nice. All right.
Yeah.
And
Good.
Plus many more.
Many more to come. No doubt about
Yep.
that.
I know Jaden Jones is going to help out.
yeah,
Oh, cool.
for sure.
Yeah, it gets
Nice.
better and better every year. The kids love
Yep.
it too. It's such a great experience to be a
Similar
part of that.
It's a big year for them too over there, and certainly for BJ because this
The
is
anniversary?
year 20. This is
20?
something that he
Wow.
started
Yeah, that's
in
right.
Ohio.
Oh,
Yeah.
He
okay.
brought it
Okay.
here.
Yeah,
Right.
because obviously
Yeah.
you guys
Year
kids-
number 20. And oh, by
Wow.
the way, this is also year number 20 for high school football on WHHI TV.
Yeah, that's gonna
We
be
were certainly
fun.
talking about in our meetings today.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
DC, LJ, and yours truly,
Awesome.
along with a bunch of other folks. We had a great day full of meetings and getting some stuff
Heck
going.
yeah.
There's going to be some
Wish I
That
gonna be
is
could have
some
made it out
changes
there.
for sure.
Yeah.
But it's certainly going to be fun. And I'm going to allude to one of those changes in a couple of brief parting thoughts here momentarily.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, let's get
Fantastic.
toward that. Shout out to some of our sponsors. Hudson Seafood House on the Docks is a great place for seafood sunsets and cocktails on Hilton Head Island, right on Skull Creek. Beautiful spot and great food down there at Hudson Seafood House on the Docks. Presenting sponsor of Under the Bus, new episode last night with Wes at the helm.
It was a
with the
good one.
boys.
It was a good
Yeah?
one. Yeah.
All right, check it out on the
They had a lot
Loco
to
Media
talk
Network.
about. Yeah. I mean,
They always do.
Yep.
Never shortage of
Oh,
topics
No,
for
yes.
those guys to fuss
Yes.
about. They
yeah,
can
Yep.
they can fuss about anything. But check out Hudson's Seafood House on the docks. And if you need a personal injury attorney, especially if you're over in Beaufort, call on Twinge and Twombly. They've got a remarkable name, but they are a rare name. It's also remarkable.
It is
And they
remarkable.
provide rarely remarkable service as well. Not everybody's providing remarkable service, but it's rare these days. But they've got it at Twinge and Twombly, personal injury attorneys. If you need to improve your view of the Loco, our old friend Coach Barron from Hilton Head Prep has hung up his whistle. He's focused on a new kind of screens now at HHI Windows and Doors, improving your view of the Loco and passing out squishy balls, stress
that's
balls.
right.
That's
Yeah.
Squishy,
Promotional.
yeah.
They
squishy
got a good
stress
promotional
balls.
budget. We know they got a
That's
good
right.
promotional budget.
Yes, they do.
Uh,
Yeah.
Also, got to give a shout out to Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not, and Reverence Wrestling Club, the official wrestling sponsor of Loco Sports and presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. And all right, that brings us to our parting thoughts, fellas. Marcus Walsh, lead us off.
All right. I'll start off with a couple of May River notes that I actually found out about, one the other day and then one today when I was at WHHI. Of course, signing day is coming up here pretty dang soon.
Yeah.
May the 7th at 10:30 over
Yeah.
there at May River. So I plan on being out there. Jermaine got in touch with me couple of days ago
Nice.
and asked if I could come out there. So it is every intention that I will head out there and cover that for WHHI along with somebody doing video, of course, not sure who at the moment. But and then the new football coach, whose name has
Stephen Nimmer.
escaped me. Thank you.
Stephen
Uh,
Nimmer.
Stephen Nimmer,
that's it.
yes. It
So
is.
the meet the coach and meet the cheerleaders at the tank is taking place at 4:30 p.m. on Thursday, May 21st. Chances are
Okay.
I am also going to be
Okay.
out doing that. Going to talk to Jessa and Lisa about going out and covering that as
Got to get
well,
him on the show.
and that too for sure.
Yeah.
So a couple of things going on with May River, and then like I said moments ago, we're going to be looking for um, a whole bunch of certain help and whatnot with some things. Jessa and I are definitely busy. Looking at getting some new fresh completely fresh faces in with WHHI, and in particularly on the production side of things with some coordination and whatnot. And I don't believe this would be an issue that I mention it because everybody within our crew knows the announcement was made today, and this will be happening next week. That Joe Keith is going to be heading to Greenville, and he's
Oh,
going to be heading that way. He'll be coming here. He's been Beaufort County, born and raised,
Yeah.
um, and so he's going to spread himself out a little bit and head over to Greenville and try to do some things there for a while. And he'll be coming back here periodically and whatnot. But that's going to be
Mhm.
a big time adjustment, and good to
Yeah.
know that Joe's sticking around the area. I actually did. He and I met when I interviewed for the part-time front desk position, of which I still do,
hmm.
helping Lisa out at the front desk. He
Hmm.
was interviewing for a production position, and we actually sat right next to each other. And then we went out and covered an event just moments after we both got these positions. We went out to Congaree and covered that golf tournament out at
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Congaree, talking with the folks at the food bank. Certainly Brenda Shaw I talked with, and we talked with a few others that were in charge of that tournament over there at Congaree, and that's really where it all started. And to see from that moment the Joe Keith that I just got to work with to over the course of about the last 5 years, how he has just improved on every skill and really done amazing work. And we're going to miss him, but for sure, it's going to be great to know that he's not too far away and that he's going to come
Yeah.
back and help us out from time to time with his
Yeah.
schedule and whatnot. So he's around for a few more days. And then heading over to Greenville. So all the best to JK, and
Yeah.
it's been
Best
been
wishes.
awesome, kind of taking
Yeah, man. I
him under
Best
my wing
wishes,
a
Big
little bit.
Joe.
I would
Good
say
dude.
this past fall, getting to work with Joe has been really fun.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss him. It's gonna be hard to see him go, but I agree with you. He's going on to do some, I think, some fantastic things out in Greenville. So it's gonna be really fun
Exciting.
to see where he
Yep.
goes with it, and it's gonna be interesting trying to adjust to not having him around for the upcoming fall football season. So it's
Hopefully
gonna
he
be.
can come by for a game or two. We'll
Hey,
just
There you
see
go.
I'm
how
more
the
than happy
weekend
to
shake
have
out.
him join. It'd be fun. But you mentioned WHHI, all the meetings. I hate that I wasn't there today to say hi to everyone and get ideas of what the upcoming fall season is going to be like. But
Well, that's much further on down the
oh,
line.
I
This
know
is
it
more
is,
of a
but
spring
I want to scratch
set of
a couple
meetings.
ideas out with Justin Jeremiah about a couple things. But hey, it's gonna be hard to see Joe go, but it's
Yep.
it was really fun working with him this past fall.
Yeah, man.
That's
Best
what I got.
wishes to Joe. Really good dude. Big fan.
Absolutely.
Best wishes up there in Greenville. I just
Grimble.
came across how about that? Hardyville boys soccer. Misa and the boys with a nice 3-1 win tonight over Bridges Prep, the number
Hey
80
now.
team
Yeah,
in Class
big
2A.
time. Oh,
All right.
Wow.
what a great job that
Uh,
Coach Meese has been doing over there with the Canes this year.
been a little up and down at times, but I think we're going to be in good shape.
Trending
They're
Um,
towards
figuring
the
it out.
playoffs. Yep.
I mean, we played a tough schedule, so that's to be
Yeah.
expected.
Well, yeah, that's part of it too.
Max, did you have a additional parting thought?
I have a couple.
Okay.
I'm Atlanta Braves have a couple of young faces starting tonight. Was Dieter Fuentes, and then Walt Weiss just announced about 30 minutes ago that one of their top prospects, who did fantastic in spring training, J.R. Ritchie, is going to get the start tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, I should say, a day game in Game 4 against
Nice.
Washington Nationals. Good win for the
All right.
Braves tonight. Didi struggled a little bit in the first, but really put up a solid second and third inning
I
to
gave
set
him
up the
some run
bullpen.
support.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Michael Harris, 2 bombs.
Yeah.
Michael Harris had 2 homers tonight. Matt Olson had a home
He's a
run.
heck of a player.
Drake Baldwin continues to be one of the best catchers or hitting catchers in baseball this season so far. He had another homer tonight. He had a homer last night as well. So the Braves are
Yep.
still humming. They're purring. Despite having some issues in the starting rotation, Renato Lopez really struggled last night for the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that I drafted Harris for my fantasy baseball team this
Yeah.
year. He's
Yes.
I'm glad
He's
I
heating up.
drafted him for my FanDuel DFS lineup today.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's really improved over the last week or so. Austin Riley's getting there as well. He's started to find his groove too. So this Braves offense is purring like a kitten right now. So
Yeah, looking good.
they're in good shape. And then the other thing is, for any of you who are watching and maybe let's say a New York Mets fan, you may want
No.
to cover your ears for this next segment.
Oof.
So I'll give you a brief history.
Well, I
If you-
mean, they won
finally
tonight.
won tonight. The streak is
They did
over.
win
The
tonight.
streak is over.
Yeah.
They did win tonight. However, I just want to, for those of you who are watching and maybe a Mets fan, I just want to give you a brief history if you live here. See, we live in a place called the Low Country, but it's also known as Braves Country. You see, for those of us who have lived in Braves Country long enough, we know what it's like to, what's the word I'm looking for? Win. That's the word I'm looking for. Win. See, the New York Mets have struggled lately, and obviously Juan Soto's been injured. He just came back tonight, so hopefully he's here. He's not going to be back on the injured list anytime soon. However, despite the win tonight for the Mets to close out what was a 12-game losing streak, apparently Francisco Lindor exited the game today with some sort of injury. Sounds like left calf tightness of some sort.
That's a bummer.
Hopefully it's nothing too
Not
serious, but you
good.
just got Juan Soto back, and now one of your other top players is now injured and possibly might be out for at least maybe day-to-day kind of situation. I haven't heard any other news yet regarding it, but he did. The word was he went out during the game with an injury, and said it was left calf tightness. So hopefully it's nothing too serious. But if you're the Mets, God, you really need to they gotta strap up them boots,
Oh,
man, because they're
estimated
in danger.
return is
Yep.
tomorrow. He's gonna be
Mm.
fine.
He'll be fine. All right. Well, it's a good sign for
Yeah.
the New York Mets, and so it's been tough, but something to note with the 12-game
I mean,
losing
maybe he
streak.
won't. You're right. It is the Mets, so maybe he.
Well,
Yeah,
and
they
that's
think it's just day to day, and it'll be like, oh no, he ripped his calf off the bone or something.
well,
Like,
and here's the other thing I want to note, and it is a fact, on at least as of now. Maybe it will change with the New York Mets, but it is the New York Mets, so I wouldn't expect anything different.
I don't know.
No team in Major League Baseball history has ever made the Major League Baseball playoffs after having a 12-game losing streak. It has
Really?
never happened before.
Wow.
And being
First
that
time
it's
for
the
everything.
Mets, I don't expect. Obviously, it's
I-
early in the season, but being that it
Yeah.
is the Mets,
They're
I
an
don't
awfully talented roster. You got to
They
think
are, and
that they're
that's
going
the
to turn
thing.
it around. It's
It
still a
is
small
early.
sample.
Well, despite Juan Soto being injured, which is obviously a
Right.
huge
They need to
loss.
get
That's a
healthy.
big
That's
part
what
of
they
it.
need to do.
It's a big hole in the lineup.
12 losses in a row. I mean,
You
come
need to
on.
get healthy.
You still have Francisco Lindor. You still have Alvarez. You have a lot of Brett Beatty's on the team as well.
On the
You still
other
have-
hand, the
yeah,
Cubs have
Yeah,
won
yeah,
8
yeah.
straight.
yeah.
Yes,
The
they
Cubs
have.
have. I mean, boy, they're looking good too.
Fire.
Yeah,
Braves,
right now. How
Braves
about
before their loss.
Cincinnati? With the start that they have had, 6
Yeah, and the
games.
Cubs are only a half game
Yes.
behind them now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Wow,
That
Catching
whole
up.
division is over 5. That whole division is over 500.
over
That's
500.
insane.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That is
When the
You
Cubs
know,
got to 500, they were in last place, and then
insane.
they haven't lost since
Crazy.
then. Now they're
That
in
is
second
that's
place.
yeah, I
wild.
was gonna say
It's nuts.
the Atlanta Braves before their loss
It,
last night were going in with a 6-game winning streak. Of
it's
course,
just been a
lost last
wild
night.
season. Like, just some teams are up. You wouldn't expect. Teams are down. You
Yeah.
wouldn't expect it. I mean, it's April, but I mean,
We'll see if it levels
certainly
off.
here. Yeah.
And here's the
Yeah.
thing I would say regarding the Atlanta Braves. I know they're good. The offense is good, but I didn't expect the pitching to be as solid at this point in the season with all the injuries.
And that
Right.
may regress to the mean. We'll
Yeah.
see if they
So
can.
you
But
play
we'll
162 games.
I should mention Spencer Strider did a rehab assignment last
Yeah.
night in Gwinnett and struck out, I think 8 or something like that. Like he was pretty solid. So there is a chance. There's a slight chance, but there is a chance he may be back up in Atlanta this weekend
Ooh.
Oh,
for their
wow.
series against the Phillies. There is a
Let's
chance.
go. All right. Wes.
Yeah,
What you got, buddy?
well, I got a couple. First off, another update on the spectacular season that the former Seahawk, Brad Larson, has been having over at Rhodes
Oh, yeah.
College. He leads the team with 49 hits, hitting 363.
Wow.
He's slugging
Goodness.
541 for
Jeez.
his Rhodes College squad, and
Lord.
really cool to see a guy who had a great run of it at Hilton Head. He is really
Yeah.
starting to shine at that next level, and awesome to see his dad a couple times over the year. Excuse me, and be able to produce it the way he is at the college level over at Rhodes. Spectacular player. Really, it's been really fun to watch him, and that team's having a great year. They're 25-9 overall. They're 11-4 in conference play, and I think they could be in line for a fun rest of the season here in the SAA, the Southern Atlantic Association. So
Yeah.
it's been a nice season for them. And it's been a nice season for our good friend Brad Larson. And it's been
Yeah.
awesome to follow him.
Steel Birds also had a really good season at the
Yes,
he's been at the junior
yes.
college level.
Yeah,
He had a
Rhodes is a good
2-homer
group.
he had a 2-homer game the other night. He's got 11
I was
home
wondering
runs.
if they're in the same. I wonder if there was in the same division, like as USCB.
I don't
with
know.
the Rhodes
He's
Division
playing
3.
at I can't remember where he's playing. But obviously we mentioned he's going to Stetson next season. He's going to be playing baseball at
Right.
Stetson next year, which
Yeah.
is huge. That's a big commitment for him to go and play at Stetson next spring. But he hit 2 more home runs the other night. I was actually watching part of the game and I just see him crank one. I'm like, oh yeah, that's gone. You know, it was like one because he can do that when need be. He can hit one and it will go a ways. So yeah, Brad
Something is
Larson
not so
and
low
Steel
road.
Bird have been really fun to watch this year. I haven't been able to keep as much of an eye on Brad Larson, but I've been taking looks around him and Steel Bird this year, and they've both been playing really well. So I'm intrigued to see how
Yeah.
it continues with Brad.
It'll be interesting. I got a couple more tonight. just spanning a couple of different sports. Some closure on what was a fantastic RBC Heritage, won by Matthew Fitzpatrick, and it got some big time ratings. It was the PGA Tour's second highest viewership average of 2026.
That's
Which,
awesome.
yeah,
That's huge.
4.35 million viewers on CBS in Sunday's final round. Second to
Wow.
only the Players Championship, which was close
Yep,
to that
fair
mark.
enough.
Players Championship was 4.4 million.
Yeah.
So I mean, what a spectacular run for this tournament that continues to showcase the brightest stars on the tour, and people are watching. People are watching.
Yeah,
Across the world.
4.3 million. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
That's
crazy. It's great.
insane.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
especially when you're bringing up numbers as such as the biggest tournament on the PGA Tour schedule outside of the Tour Championship and the Players Championship. That's some pretty good company to be alongside. So that's awesome. That's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to bode well for the chances of this event continuing to stay the way it has been in terms of signature event, or if not, if they can't signature events, you would expect that it to be an event where the top players will be a part of. I mean, it's you have to.
With all the positive reactions from all the players over the last few years, it's hard to see them. Obviously, of course, it's always the week after the Masters, so that's of course the Masters is such a taxing, just stressful tournament. But with the routine now of them coming down to the RBC Heritage the next week, and that routine has been there for a few years now, and all the positive reaction from a lot of players, it's hard to see them not, even if it isn't a signature event, it's really tough to not think of them, not being there. It's
I
hard to
mean, I
think of
wouldn't
that right
expect
now.
it to change. I think everyone.
Well, again, we don't know what the PGA Tour structure is going to look like next
That's
year.
true.
Yeah, like I said,
true.
the schedule could change because they're starting. Like I said, they're thinking about starting the week after the Super Bowl instead of the normal. Starting Hawaii in January that they've done.
Right.
For instance,
Well, they've just started doing that. From what I heard, they've canceled the 2 tournaments in Hawaii for next season.
That's right.
So that's not even going to happen. They're canceling the
That's going to
tournament
be
champions.
weird. Not seeing golf in Hawaii in
It's
January.
not going to be in Hawaii next year. So they've already started making some changes to that schedule.
Yeah.
So I'm
there's going to be a little bit of an overhaul, especially with Live. The Live Fallout. They're going to have a chance to kind of remake it. All right. You good,
I got
Wes?
some more. So
Okay.
it's real quick. Has anyone followed the run that Jose Soriano has been on for the Angels?
Yes, because I have him on both fantasy teams.
0.024 ERA on the season, and the first Major League Baseball starting pitcher since 1900 to allow 1 or fewer total runs through his first 6 starts of a season. That is
he's so good. I watched him. Braves were in Anaheim a few weeks back at the very start of the season, and Jose Soriano was on the mound for, I think, the first game of that series. Of course, that series with the whole Jorge Soler and Walt Weiss tackling Jorge Soler to the ground situation. But I saw Jorge Soriano in that first game, and I saw him, and I was like, wow, this dude's something else. Obviously it's showing. It's obviously showing.
Shohei dealing tonight.
Yeah, I saw that. He is dealing tonight.
Yep.
4Ks through 3.
And finally, of course, the sports world will be saying their eyes back to football for the weekend because the NFL draft begins tomorrow, and the big name Fernando Mendoza expecting to go first overall. Just great to see a Mexican talent, just take over the college football scene, lead Indiana to a national title, and now expected to be called first by the Las Vegas Raiders. And it's going to be interesting draft. From what I have heard, there could be some movement, some intriguing names on the board. I'm excited to see. I feel like these last couple of years there has been some excitement. I like when there are a lot of trades, just a lot of unexpected picks. I kind of feel like this draft class, they could go a couple of different ways. So I hope Carolina goes with they need a tight end. They
Yeah, they
They have
do.
a great
Yeah.
number one wideout in Tit McMillan. I mean, you would like them to grab another guy to supplement him, but Jalen Coker's really showing some good signs. I think they do need to really go after that tight end position, though. You'd love to have
Yep.
a good blocker who can catch passes. Tremble's been okay, but I'd love to see them if there's still a good tight end on the board. If not, I'd probably go defense. There are some more holes to be plugged in, especially at linebacker in the secondary. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Do we just get round 1 tomorrow?
yes, just
Rounds
round
1 and
1,
2
and
Round one
then
tomorrow.
2 and
Is
3
it
on
1 and
Friday.
2 or just
Oh,
1?
that's right.
It's
Round
just
1 tomorrow,
one.
2 and 3
Just one
You know-
Thursday, and then
Friday.
Friday's 2 to 3, and then
The rest of
Thursdays
it
the
on
rest of it.
Saturday.
The rest on
Or
Saturday.
Saturday, rather. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Gotcha.
very intrigued to see what the Falcons do because obviously they have a new general manager as well as a whole new coaching staff as well. I'm very
Yes.
intrigued to see where they go because I haven't been able to
Yeah.
get a clear sign as to
I have
the
no idea.
direction they
Right.
go.
The draft gives you a better idea of kind of what their vision and philosophy
Yeah.
are, right? So
Yep.
So
So
it makes it
see what
very
they do there.
intriguing for me as a Falcons fan. I'm sure for you as well, Marcus, as a fan of the Falcons. It's very intriguing to see what they do because they have a plethora of talent right now. It's just who do they add on to that
That's
with
right.
their first pick?
do they draft another quarterback?
You know,
They-
it,
Maybe late.
I know.
Yeah,
It may be time.
it wouldn't shock me. I mean, basically,
that would lose people would lose their minds if the Falcons draft the quarterback in the first round after all.
Oh,
In the
yeah,
first round,
that won't
yeah,
happen.
they would.
Yeah.
They would.
No, but like
All right.
definitely late. Yeah. Anyway,
All right. So I got a couple. On a funny note, Michaela Primo continues her journey through the Peach Belt. After being at USCB 2 years ago and USC Aiken this year, she will now be at Augusta next year. She's
wow, she is
transferring
touring them
to
all. At
Augusta.
least
Shopping
as well.
around.
Yeah. So we'll see
Taking a
Primo
tour.
again
That
coming through the
that
Cove.
is. I mean, just it's
Fantastic.
crazy. I guess it happens more in Division II and Division One. Sometimes you see interconference
Yeah.
transfers, but especially like
I mean, Nick Pringle. Nick Pringle played for three different
Pringle
SEC
did,
teams
you're right,
in
you're
3
right.
years.
But the SEC, I don't know. The SEC is
Just means more.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
Yes,
the
yes.
SEC.
And there's like just so
I
many
would
teams in the
expect
SEC
players.
now. It's like you
Yeah.
got like yeah. It's yeah.
Well, I mean,
it's-
there's like if you're gonna play D2 hoops in this region, you got the Peach, Conference Carolinas, and
right. There were
Sunshine
only a
State.
few,
That's
so I
about
mean it
it.
makes sense. But yeah, it would be just interesting to see Michaela Primo on yet a different team coming up.
But
next
also
year.
probably a lot easier to get recruited by a team in your conference because they've seen
Yep.
you. They know
Yeah,
what you
of
are
course.
and who you are. So whereas D1 players, everybody's seen everybody kind of.
Very
But
true. Very true.
all right, and then I got one other feel-good note. You brought up Brad Larson, so I will bring up a former May River Shark who is
Yep.
having a tremendous season on the baseball diamond. Our old friend Bennett Romer at
Hey.
North Greenville has
Yes.
made 12 starts. He is
All right.
7-0. He threw a
Awesome.
complete game. In
Wow.
65 and 2/3 innings, he has a 2.60 ERA and a 1.19 WHIP. He
Solid.
also has 78 Ks in 65 and 2/3 with 30 walks. Opponents hitting 202 against him. So
You said he was at North
Mr.
Greenville,
Romer,
right?
yeah, Mr.
Mr.
Romer
Romer.
is
Oh,
having
it's really
quite a
good.
time, and the scouts come around to see him at North Greenville. So
I know that USCB baseball doesn't have the facilities, but could you imagine if they were able to
I
pick up
know.
a guy who's playing Division II baseball and playing that well?
Well,
know,
they
like it-
probably could have had him if they would have offered him first.
True.
I'm just
Could've
telling
been,
you. I mean, I talked to him a lot. He played on my men's league team the summer after he graduated, or the summer after his freshman year.
They didn't offer
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, if they'd have just offered him first, he would have probably been there.
What?
But they didn't offer him. I think they offered him late, but like
Really late.
he was
That's ridiculous.
But
I
yeah.
feel that.
Yeah. I mean, there's been some guys come through here that it's puzzling that they didn't go check on him.
Right.
like,
Exactly.
kinda crazy.
I mean,
But
it is
those
your
are past-
backyard, of course.
past coaching staffs. So
Yeah.
is what it is.
Might
That's why
change.
we are
Might
where we
change
are.
with Brian Lewis.
Yep.
Who knows? Might change.
Yeah,
Yep.
maybe. All right. So yeah, Bennett Romer, Dealing.
Great season.
Good stuff.
Fantastic.
Yep.
And with that, boys, let's call it a night.
Alright.
I got jury duty early in the morning. Shout out to
Ooh.
all of our sponsors for making everything possible, and to all of you for showing up to listen or watch. And thanks to you fellas, Marcus Walsh, Max Araj, and Wes Kerr for riding shotgun with me. We'll be back again probably Friday night.
Yeah, probably Friday night after we get started the final USC baseball series of the years. They
Yeah.
take on Middle Georgia State, a long-time rival. I mean, and
Indeed,
going
indeed.
back before the Peach Belt days, because
Coach
those
Paul.
seasons-
That should be
Say hi to
fun.
Coach
You'll
Paul
be
for
on.
me.
You'll be on the call for that. I'll be on the call starting on Saturday for
yeah,
USCB
softball Saturday. I
in a
believe they
big
play one
series.
Saturday and two
Georgia
on Sunday.
Southwestern?
Yep.
Yes,
Yep,
big
yes,
series.
that is correct.
If they win
Yep.
if they win at least 2 out of 3 games in that series, they may. I think it might secure them a spot potentially in the
Sure.
Peach
Yeah,
Belt
obviously
Conference
the other
tournament.
teams
It's
help,
good.
but yeah,
But
we'll
if
see what
it does-
happens. And I mean, Georgia Southwestern, they have had this is a team. This is a game a series that they should win at least 2, if not sweep. By the way they've been playing right now, so
Hey, they're
All right.
softball's tied with USC Aiken right now. That's their final series of the
Ooh, yeah, we gotta
regular
get
season.
yep,
Gotta get them.
they're in a
Yeah.
good
Looking
spot.
All right,
forward
boys.
certainly to seeing HHCA and JP2 tomorrow too.
Ooh,
baseball
yeah,
night.
that's
Right.
tomorrow. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
Yes.
might make
tomorrow.
my way out.
I'll be there.
That's a good one.
Be a good one,
All right,
yes.
boys. Good stuff. Thanks so much. We'll be back Friday night for Marcus Walsh, Max Araj, and Wes Carr. I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, go Loco.